Sejam todos bem-vindos de volta ao 8º Congresso Brasileiro de Inovação da Indústria. Como as novas tecnologias vão afetar os modos de produção e consumo de alimentos? Este é o ponto de partida sobre as tendências a respeito do futuro dos alimentos. Convidamos ao palco Rakesh Jain, diretor de Desenvolvimento de Negócios da Just.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. I hope you're having a great conference. I want to start out by thanking the organizers. They've put together a great show on the future innovation that our world needs. You've seen things like blockchain, you've seen new cell phones, etc. I'm here to represent the food industry. And, you know, I can live without my cell phone for a year till the next model comes out, but I can't live without food. I don't know about you guys, but food is something that's critical. And the way the world population is increasing, by the year 2050, we will be 9 billion people on this planet. And even today, 30% of our arable land is used to produce animal feed, not human food. So imagine what's going to happen in 10 years unless we solve this problem. So, you know, I come from a company called Just, based out of San Francisco. And the mission of our company is making it easy to eat well. And what do I mean by that, right? Well, first of all, don't eat at McDonald's or Burger King. But seriously, what I mean by making it easy to eat well is to try to find foods that have the following 4 qualities. Clearly, if the food doesn't taste good, nobody's going to eat it. So the first mission of our company is whatever we invent, discover, produce, it must taste great. For that purpose, we have 5 chefs on our staff who have worked in Michelin kitchens and who know all there is about food taste. That's number 1. Number 2, if it's food, it has to be nutritious. And by nutritious, we mean it has to have the protein content, the vitamins, and it does not need to have anything extra, so you want a clean label for your food. That's number 2. Number 3 is it should be affordable. If we design new food for tomorrow, it should not only be sold at the high-end grocery store, it should also be sold where everybody else shops. And so in the US, we have our products in Whole Foods, and we also have our products in Walmart. So we want to price them accordingly. We want to make the manufacturer such that everybody can afford that. And then finally, the 4th attribute that we want is sustainability, right? After all, we need to live on this planet for hundreds of years, hopefully, and we need to make the food sustainable. Now, how do we do that, and what are the kinds of products we're working on? I'll spend the next 20 minutes talking about that. There are 3 messages I want you to take. 1, we are working on a source of protein that is not from animal products, okay? And I'll share that with you. Number 2, even if you have plant-based proteins available, there is still going to be a growing demand for real animal protein, right? People will want beef. In fact, more people will want beef. They will want high-end beef. They will want all the other things that they're used to. They may eat plant-based protein 1 day or 2 days a week, but they still want their animal protein. So that's the second problem we're trying to solve. And then the third problem turns out is the biggest one. We are a company of 100 people in Silicon Valley. If we're going to have all this food available across the globe, scaling it is not an easy challenge. And so I want to share with you the model that we have used to try to expand globally by using partners to help us expand. All right, I don't know if you can read it. So, headquartered in San Francisco, an office in Shanghai at a WeWork. Our model is to find plants or animal cells, commercialize that protein, develop different products, and plug into existing downstream partner infrastructure. And I'll tell you what that is in a minute. So the kinds of products we've been able to make are, we started 4 or 5 years ago with a plant-based meal and a raw, eat it raw cookie dough. But the latest product that we now have launched about 6 months ago in the US and a couple of weeks ago in China is a plant-based protein that you can cook like an egg. Okay, it tastes like an egg, your mouth feels like an egg, it cooks like an egg, but it doesn't create a big smell in your kitchen after you've cooked it. And for distribution, we're at Walmart, Kroger, Cisco. You may not recognize some of these stores, but we are in almost every grocery store, and I'll show you a slide for that. So how do we do that? We started a while ago by trying to find plants that gave great proteins, that not only had nutrition, because all proteins have nutrition, but they also had a function. They could either emulsify something instead of using harmful chemical emulsifiers, or it could gel. And so we started screening, and we learned that there are 400,000 plants in the world. A few generations would be needed to screen all those. So we developed robotic tools to carry out that process. And we can now screen 30 of these at one time. And during this screening, we found that a 4,000-year-old bean has the protein that scrambles like an egg. And it can do some other things. It can make a great dairy-free ice cream. It can make a dairy-free butter. You can make pasta with it, although pasta is so inexpensive that it's hard to put protein in that. Okay, so once we screen, and we've screened thousands of materials so far, you then need to have a process that takes it to a product. And that's what I want to show you here. So we divide our process into upstream and downstream. And by that we mean upstream of protein extraction, and then downstream developing products. So we use our robotic tools. We then find a farm or farmers to find that bean or plant. We develop the process to extract the protein from it. And then that's a powder that we can either use or sell in a bag to our downstream partners. And what the downstream partners will do is mix it with the ingredients based on the products we've developed, package it, and sell it through their existing channels and distribution. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel of, let's say, a Brazilian manufacturing plant and a Brazilian sales and distribution plant. So I'm going to show you a little video of these 10 steps. So the first step is to find the right magic bean. And then in the finding, you have to test the property that you're looking for. And in the egg case, we're looking for gelation. And then we go to the farm, find where it's grown, how do we impact the existing equilibrium in the marketplace, do contract farming to enhance the growth of this product, get this product in large enough supply, So this is the mung bean. It's been eaten in Asia for 4,000 years, so there's plenty of it available. The green shell is removed, it's mostly fiber, and you get this yellow bean that you grind and mill into a fine powder, and then you use our proprietary technology to extract the protein in high purity. And that's the protein. You then take this protein, you add it to a mixer, you add a few ingredients, and then you activate some of the ingredients in there. You bottle it up. There's some heating and cooling involved, pasteurization, and then you put it in bottles and off it goes to the store. Okay, and this is the magic bottle that we sell in the US. And the product is called Just Egg. Okay, so you must be wondering, does it taste like an egg? Really? Does it really taste like an egg? So there's a second video after this where we took this product out on the street in about 25 different cities, and we have summarized
make it more sustainable, we can make it less cruel, we can make it taste better. We don't have to do things the way we've done them before. We can make it not just better for you, but better for the world, and I think that's the important aspect.
Thank you. Okay, back to slides. Okay, so how is this product doing, and is it truly sustainable? So on the top are some of the awards that our product has received this year. We just launched it in September, and it is in the egg aisle right next to your dozen eggs. And if you look at some of the other crops that we use a lot of, like rice, wheat, corn, soy, mung bean uses much less water, and it has the minimum carbon emissions of those four crops. It's actually only a 90-day growth cycle. It is a very good nitrogen fixer, and a lot of companies want to use this in between their cotton crops so that they can provide nitrogen to the soil. In the US, of the top 23 grocery stores, we are in most of them. And there's two on there, number 9 and 10, who only sell white label products, and we refuse to do that because the one thing that we want to get out of this is to establish our brand and to start having people believe that if there is a product labeled Just, it's good for you and it makes eating better. About 2 weeks ago, we launched in China. We are now on the Chinese internet suppliers. It's a very different market from the US in terms of how people buy the product. We have a team of 10 people in Shanghai, and they've made anything from egg drop soup to tomatoes and eggs and all sorts of crazy things that we didn't even imagine. And we are now entering the quick service restaurant market with a pre-made egg patty. So if you look in the hamburger there is a hash brown, and under that is a pre-made egg patty that you just put in your Turbo Chef, and McDonald's can crank this out in 30 seconds and actually give you a burger that's better for you. How is it selling? On top, there's a picture of how it is actually sold in the store. It's right in the egg cartons. We've sold 5 million eggs between September and February, egg equivalents. And if you look at the natural channel, we are outselling brands that have been established for tens of years. People want to try this. There's no cholesterol in this egg. It's got the same amount of protein that you need. In the future, we can add vitamins, we can fortify with irons, and all those products are on our roadmap and will become real in a year or two. Okay. This is a picture of China. We did a survey in China, and we were surprised to find that the per capita consumption of egg in China is the most of anywhere else in the world. And still, 93% of the survey respondents thought that they would buy this product. And the reasons they gave are important. I don't know if that number is right. It depends on, how big the survey is, what people are thinking at that time. But the reasons why are very important. And they want to buy it for protein, for a healthy heart, for life longevity, environmentally friendly, low calorie. So it's all about eating healthy. All right. That's all about egg. And the next 3.5 minutes, I'm going to spend telling you about our cultured meat program. So because if you look at the top right, when you have a cow or an animal producing your meat, about 40% of it is wasted, whether it's bones or blood or things like that. And for every kilogram of meat you produce 9 kilograms of fertilizer. And we're running out of space where to put that. So how do we solve this problem? And it takes a cow 2 years to grow. So what we have been doing is trying to use something that the health industry has been doing for a while, and it's called cell growth or cell multiplication or cellular agriculture, where you find cells that multiply in a test tube or a beaker, and you keep growing them until there's enough mass that you can harvest and eat. So we have now been able to do that for a chicken line, and we have the ability to produce the chicken nuggets on the top left, and science and technology and productization has once again left regulatory behind, and the only thing we're waiting for before launching this product is to get regulatory clearance by the authorities. In the US, we've been working with the FDA and the USDA, but we're farthest along in Singapore, where we expect to get regulatory clearance within a few months, and we have a restaurant lined up where this will be the only place on earth where you can buy and eat a chicken nugget produced without harming an animal. We're not alone in this endeavor. There are 30 other companies trying to do the same thing. I can't predict what their product timelines are, but we're ready to go. Also, when you do this it only takes 7 days to grow that meat. And it doesn't make a difference whether it's chicken or beef or pork. And so one of the things we are doing is trying to make the best beef possible. And so we have partnered with a Japanese company called Toriyama, who sells a Wagyu beef that is out of this world. And so we have obtained some cells from their cattle, and we're now growing that. And hopefully by the end of this year, you'll be able to buy a Wagyu burger in a grocery store. So also, the lab meat is very, very clean. There's no antibiotics, there's no impurities. You can see on the bottom left, your left, all the ingredients or problems that you face with animal agriculture. And if you make cultured meat, you have none of them. Last year in the US, we used 30 million pounds of antibiotics that end up either in our food or in our water system. We use 0. So what do we have to look forward to in the future? The bottom right picture shows you what an artist's rendition for a plant is going to be. It's made on the exact footprint of the largest slaughterhouse in the US, and we only need a handful of these to supply the entire US. So good things are coming. We can't wait for the future of food. Thank you for your interest, and I'm taking questions